Don Martin and Bruce Merchant with Tornado Radio Network coming to you live from Scott, Louisiana, where the Sulphur Golden Tours are visiting the Acadiana Wreckin Rams, not the Acadiana Golden Rams, the Acadiana Wreckin Rams.
There's some gold on the uniforms, but I don't think they go by that.
Yeah, they've got gold helmets, and they were very excited tonight. They have brought out, I'm assuming these are new uniforms, but they're actually in all black. Yep. All black uniforms with we were discussing with a dark green number trimmed in gold. But so Acadiana is going to win the toss. Looks like Sulphur will kick off. Sulphur is going to be in the traditional gold helmet with the white jerseys and the gold pants. And they will receive the opening kickoff tonight.
Acadiana has deferred to the second half. A step up in competition for the Golden Tours. They beat Washington Marion 42-8 last week. Meanwhile, Acadiana was losing to Lafayette Christian just up the road here, 38-21. They turned the ball over 4 times in that ball game, but I think their loss to LCA was the only one they had in the regular season last year. So that's not unusual for the Wrecking Rams. First of 2 in a row on the road for the Golden Tours. We'll head to the Crow Dome next week to take on Karen Crow, the defending Class 4A state champion. So
Actually, I think we go to Lafayette, Bruce, and Karen Crow comes to Sulphur. I said that last week mistakenly, okay. But I was looking at my season ticket package today, and we've got a Karen Crow. The first home game is against Karen Crow. So I was mistaken if you were going off what I had mentioned last week.
Well, wherever they are, we will be there.
So the Rams are kicking off. They'll be kicking from our left to our right.
2 men back deep for the Tours. And the kick will make it into the end zone for the touchback.
You know, we talked about that last week, Bruce, and Acadiana was one of the teams for years, always had a kicker that could put the ball in the end zone. We talked about the value of Sulphur's kicker Paez doing that last week. And we see quickly in this ball game, Acadiana immediately puts Sulphur on the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Aiden Richard, the kicker for Acadiana. So the Golden Tours with the first opportunity with the football as we get started here this evening from Scott. Beautiful night. It's a little bit cool, it feels like out there, of course, after you're used to the summer. Gage Trahan.
Looks like Cedeno in the backfield, Gage.
2 receivers to the right, 1 out here to the left, a wingman also to the right, and they will throw. And they will throw deep. It is incomplete. Intended for Caden Blaylock in front of the Acadiana bench here near midfield.
Looked like Blaylock maybe had a half a step on him there. And the Acadiana defender did a nice job of just keeping the pressure on. Blaylock was only able to get one hand free to get a hand on the ball. And needed that second one to be able to haul that one in.
That's Kevin Bernard on defense. Also Maurice Brown out there for the Wrecking Rams. All right, 2nd and 10 for the Tours from their own 20-yard line. The 3 receivers are out here to the right, or the left side this time. And Sedano will take the handoff and will go nowhere. He is quickly wrapped up in the backfield for a loss of a yard. So it will bring up a 2nd down or 3rd down now.
Looks like 84 there led the tacklers. Either 84 or 94. Probably 94. Byron Woodall, junior defensive tackle.
The 3rd and long 11. The ball inside the 19-yard line now. Blaylock will come out here to the left. Along with him is Ashton Alton.
Hopkins is at the top by himself.
They'll send Alston in motion. And we will get a timeout called by Sulphur. 50 seconds into the ball game. Timeout for the Golden Tours.
Yeah, there's a quick timeout there. I don't know if I'm assuming they didn't have an alignment or they had a blocking scheme that they didn't really like against that defense. And being backed up at their own 20-yard line, didn't want to, inside the 20 actually, didn't want to take a chance on having a very negative play or even a turnover right there.
And I would not be surprised on 3rd and very long or 3rd and long that they're not blitzing. Not giving Trahan enough time to set up.
Yeah, 3-man front, but I'm like you, Bruce. If I was a defense right here, I'd send some pressure.
The same formation. Trahan to throw. It is incomplete. Threw it behind Jonathan Hopkins Jr. Would have been short of the sticks anyway, and it's quickly a 4th down for Sulphur.
You know, I know it's a 3-and-out right there, Bruce, but two positives right there. Both are passing plays. Hopkins had a step on that little inside slant, and the opening pass play of the game, you know, he had a step on that receiver. So the Tours may look to rely a little bit more on that passing game tonight against a very formidable defensive front line as far as when they go to run the ball.
Baez to kick on 4th and 11. Wobbly kick. Hits the ground, and Acadiana immediately runs away from it as it took a wild hop.
Came close to hitting one of those.
Yes, it
Acadiana
did.
man.
42-yard line is where it will be. Acadiana will have it 1st and 10 in their own territory. Their first possession. They turned it over 4 times in their loss to Lafayette Christian last week. You know, they've won 21 straight district games.
Wow.
They've lost. Last lost was Tacoma back in 2018.
So that's basically 3 seasons. It was seven game districts the last few years. It's eight game district this year.
A handoff up the middle. A pickup of 3 on the play. Aiden Trahan is the quarterback. Williams runs it.
That's just one of their standard bread and butter plays out of that veer, Bruce. Their first option is at fullback, and a lot of times they're gonna test the defense and try to pop that fullback a few times. And you got to play very disciplined and do your assignments when you're on defense against this Wreckin Ram.
The most important group is their offensive line. Every year, to create these holes. That time the Tours on top of it. Gain of just 2. See if we can get the running back here. Monette.
But, you know, we talked about, you know, it looked like 2 relatively short gains to fullback give, and they've gained 5 yards. And like I say, that's just the premise of this offense, the veer offense. Tours have stood up, though, twice, 1st and 2nd down. This is going to be a big test for the Tours here on 3rd down. Now, they'll have to continue to get off the field on defense.
Cameron Monette, the running back. So 3rd and 5 from the 47. There's Monette again. He will be short of the 1st down.
It'll be tackled by number 4 right there for the Golden Tours. Peyton Lemaire, little inside give. Going to get the ball up to midfield to the 50. It's going to be 4th and about 2.5. It looks like the Acadiana's going to line up to go for it. But if you've watched Acadiana over the years, they love to try to draw a defense off sides in this situation.
Offset split backfield, and that's exactly what they tried to do. Sulphur did not jump.
Tours did a nice job right there. It looks like Acadiana calls a timeout.
Yeah. So we haven't played 3 minutes of the ball game. We've had 2 timeouts.
No, the quarterback walked up underneath center and barked a call right there. And the entire – give them credit because the entire defensive line flinched, but they didn't step forward. They just kind of flinched. And but they stood pat. And but as I mentioned, if you watch film on Acadiana over the years, that's something they love to do right there.
And it's 4th down and 2. So
I haven't seen anything. Looks like a kicker on the field. So it looks like Acadiana is going to go for it. So this is going to be a big opportunity for the Tours right here early in the 1st quarter.
It is rare to ever see an offensive play for Acadiana that's for negative yardage. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because they don't throw the football.
Well, not only they don't throw the football, they don't run a lot of pitch plays. The ball is always moving forward for them, even in their running game.
So 4th and 2. Up the middle it goes for the 1st down.
It was that fullback give. It was a split backfield, actually. And he could have give to the right or give to the left. And he goes – that's the other thing makes that offense so tough to defend is they're lined up in the same formation, but you have no idea if they're going left or going right.
Yep. That's 4 plays up the middle or inside the tackles. It's Kevin Williams. I met his great-grandmother when we got in here.
Was that the food lady? Wasn't the food lady?
No, it was down there.
Oh, she was here early, huh?
Yep. Well, they will hand it off, and again, a short gain. You only have to average 3 yards to play to pick up 1st down, and there's 2 yards to the Sulphur 44-yard line. It's 2nd and 8.
You know, I've often wondered if the receivers for Acadiana just get tired of running around. We talked about
they're
that
just
earlier.
there for decoration.
Yeah, I mean that one receiver right there just came off the field. He ran all the way down to inside the 20-yard line, and then he has to jog all the way back.
I put two of them to the left here. They're not going to. Oh, they're going to throw it.
A swing pass.
Yep, illegal block. And no flag.
How's that not a holding call?
Well, he was blocking before the ball was thrown too.
But he pretty much tackled the defensive back right there. Yeah. And then actually the receiver ran. He was tackled by the two guys laying on the ground. He tried to kind of run or step over him, and the defender kind of got a hand on him so he could get some help there. So he didn't get a penalty call, but he did get part of the tackle.
Another 3rd and 5.
Looks like from the 41-yard line.
Receivers one left, one right. Split backfield again, double tight ends. And they will run it up the middle. And this time the Golden Tours again will stand up the running back after a gain of 1. So it's going to be 4th down and
looked like Hyatt on the tackle right there, number 5, Corey Hyatt.
So
we talked about that, just filling the holes.
Yep.
So it's going to set up a 4th and 3 now from the 38-yard line. Bruce, I can't see the clock.
7:05.
And if you get up to get a drink of water when the ball's in play, don't stay going long, because with this Veer offense, they can really chew up the clock. It'd probably be a quick game tonight.
Well, the same formation, receiver left and right, backs are split. And this time the quarterback will pick up the first down.
That's the first time we've seen that play run tonight.
Yep. They run nothing outside, though.
Yeah, he didn't fake to it. And he didn't even fake to the fullback. He just let the fullback hit the hole first and just kind of followed him through.
It didn't take long to play Acadiana. This drive started back at the 42. It may take 15 or 20 plays to go that 52 yards.
Well, I think we're on play 8 right now, the drive.
Yeah. 2 4th down. So yeah, this is the 9th play. So it's 1st and 10 from the Sulphur 33. And up the middle it goes. Probably their best running play. They'll pick up, it looks like 4, maybe 5 on this one.
I know Sulphur's given up a couple first downs in this drive so far, but been in fact, we've already hit the water break. But I've been very impressed with the Golden Tour defense. They've stood tall in there. Like I say, haven't given up any big plays, but just haven't been able to get any big stops either. While we got a break in action, let's thank some of our Tornado Radio Network sponsors. Troy Darby over at Hollywood Barbershop on City Service Highway. Go see Troy. Troy's also got some beauticians cutting in there as well. So men, women, our children are able to take care of on City Service Highway. Jennifer Maybu State Farm Agency on Beglis Parkway. For any insurance needs, go see Jennifer and her team over there. David Missy with Missy's Groceries, the oldest grocery store in Sulphur. Does a great job not only with Sulphur High, but also supporting the community. Was actually the last round of hurricanes. He was open a day after the storms, and it was the only grocery store open trying to take care of the citizens of Sulphur. Dr. Grimble, Pediatric Dentistry. If you've got a child needing some pediatric dentistry, I understand too. My grandbabies were there this week, and I saw some of the pictures. And like I've always said, I got to try to figure out a way to get in there. And he's got a lot of neat toys in there, Bruce.
Was at the dentist this week too, but the kid's dentist wouldn't take me. All right, 2nd and 5 for Acadiana inside the 30. Quarterback will keep again. This time he did fake it inside, but
it's fumble.
Whistles.
They got to call him down.
Yeah,
I think,
he's down at the
I think progress had been stopped.
Yep.
And if you follow Acadiana football too long enough, Bruce, there's always seems like a mysterious early whistle sometimes on a fumble here and there.
3rd and 3 coming up.
But I think his progress had been stopped, and I think the whistle had been blown. So it sets up, like you said, another big 3rd and 3 for the Golden Tour defense.
5:25 to go, first quarter. Each team with 1 possession.
Bruce, that left tackle, we don't have the heights and weights on these young men, but he's a stout one over there on the left side.
Yep. They will run it again for the first down. This time Williams will pick up close to 10 yards. That's the other thing about this offense is they will wear you out.
Tackle there is made by number 2, Keegan Trim.
The 16 or 17 first down or Acadiana. They just beat on you and beat on you.
But the Golden Tour defense, one of the problems we've had the last couple of years with Acadiana is containing the big play.
Mm-hmm.
So far they've contained or kept Acadiana from that big play early in the game. But it's been these, like you said, these short ones just kind of pound on you and take their toll. But the defense so far is holding up.
So on first down, they will hand it off, and it's thought it was fumbled.
Yeah, I think it was a foot or a shoe or a helmet. Yeah, I thought that ball poked out of there. So the helmet come off for Trim. He'll have to come out of the game one play, minimum of one play.
It's a gain of 3, so it's second down and 7. The ball at the 15-yard line as the Rams try to punch it into the end zone to your right.
Scoreless game so far.
4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
This is only Acadiana's first possession, so.
Yep.
Sulphur went 3 and out. They received the opening kickoff and went 3 and out.
Yeah, they've had it for at least 6 minutes now. On the option, it comes to the near side. There's the pitch to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone for the touchdown. It's Kevin Williams from 15 yards out.
So we're at the 15-yard line. That was the first time we've seen that pitch play tonight as well, Bruce, and kind of ran that to perfection. And, we talked about they just pounding that defense and, maybe soften them up a step or two, and then they hit with that outside pitch play, and he had quite a bit of room to was tackled actually at the goal line, but was untouched to about the 5. Once he got that head of steam going, it was going to be tough to bring him down.
They will fake the swinging gate thing. St. Louis does this, and my question is why?
Well, especially as good as the kicker is. Acadiana is known for their kickers.
Why do you do that?
Yeah.
This is Aiden Richard. Sulphur will jump. Well, they might go for 2.
I was just about to say, this may flip the script a little bit, and you may see them. The kicking team's going to remain on the field. No, but it must be I bet the holder's the quarterback.
Yeah, I couldn't see the number.
Because they didn't switch either. No. Yeah, okay.
Oh, there he is.
Offsides. Acadiana wanted to get up there and run a quick play, and the referee stopped that for some reason. I guess they hadn't.
They will go for 2.
They hadn't shown what the penalty was yet. It's just going to be a power wedge.
Yep, and
he's going to be in for a score.
Yep. 8-0 with 3:45 to go in the first quarter. As Acadiana goes 58 yards.
Yeah, Bruce, that's one of them penalties. You're playing an Acadiana team that's probably ranked. I think they're ranked either 3rd or 4th in the state, and so you're going to have your hands full. And a penalty like that ends up, going. They go from kicking an extra point to going for 2, and so in essence, that penalty maybe a point that you need later in this ball game. So you hate to see the Tours make any kind of mistake like that.
You can't make any kind of mistake against Acadiana anyway.
So while we're also mentioning some of our other sponsors, 40 Outfitters for any of your Golden Tour apparel needs, or I went there the other day. They have cups, pictures, monogram, anything you could think of. Go see the Duvals at 40 Outfitters. Mike Willis Ford over on Beglis Parkway in Sulphur. Go see our good friend Tony Tremonti at Mike Willis Ford and tell him Tornado Radio Network sent you.
Richard ready to kick from the north 40. And this one will go into the end zone. Sulphur will have it at the 20-yard line. So Sulphur with their second possession.
Bruce, I'm kind of wondering if that kicker doesn't like at times to maybe pooch that thing into a dead zone, because both of the Sulphur receivers were about the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
But I'm sure every once in a while, if you fall asleep on him, he'll kick that into a dead zone. They've probably got some speed on the outside that's able to get down there and potentially recover a kickoff. So Trahan brings the Golden Tours out for their second possession of the night, trailing 8-0 here late in the first quarter.
Garrison Burgess in the backfield with him. 2 receivers here to the left. Laylock will go in motion. They'll pitch it to him. Got some blockers to the 20. And he is brought down after a gain of 3 to the 23-yard line. That looked good when it started.
Yeah, it's a nice gain of 3, Bruce, but, Acadiana's got a lot of team speed, and that's a very tough play to run because, even if they get a little bit out of position, they've got enough speed on that defense to recover. But still a nice gain of 3 on first down. Nice way to start the drive on a positive play.
Well, second down and 8, actually. They back it up to the 22.
The other thing I'm noticing, Bruce, is Acadiana's walking the safety down into the box. Their cornerbacks have no safety help. So if you get one of your receivers gets a step on them, it could result in a big play for the Tours.
And the white hat has stopped play for something here. Play clock. They stopped the clock for some reason. Sulphur on 2nd and 8 will throw. Wide open. 25 to the 27-yard line. It's Alston, who just kind of sat down at the 25-yard line. Trahan pump faked it toward the Acadiana sideline, and then Alston became wide open. So it's 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 3 for Sulphur. Ball at their own 27-yard line, trailing 8-0. Coming up on 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Burgess in the backfield. Trahan to throw. Dumps it off complete. First down. It's Alston again. And Alston will pick up about 7 or 8. Out to the 33-yard line, it appears, and there's Sulphur's first down of the ball game. They'll spot it at the 33. Tours heading to your left here in the first quarter. Trailing 8-0. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Trahan in the shotgun, takes the football. He'll hand it off. Nope, he'll put it back. He'll throw it deep, wide open, and he overthrew Blaylock. Like the defensive back may have bit on the fake, and Blaylock got a step on him, but it was overthrown just a hair. And Caden could not catch up with it at 2nd and 10.
Yeah, we mentioned that, Bruce. They're I don't know if it's the defense they play or just a little bit of lack of respect for the Golden Tours so far, but they don't have a deep safety at all. So their cornerbacks are pretty much playing bump and run, man to man the entire field. I'm assuming the safety is this number 2.
2.
Looks like. Now he's backed off into a safety position on this play. That may stretch the defense out just a little bit.
5 receivers. Here comes the blitz. Flags are thrown. We're going to get 2 flags. This is going to be personal foul.
That's going to be a 15-yard after the play was dead.
Yep.
So that'd be an automatic first down. Let's see what the initial – I don't know if it was a illegal procedure or offsides on the defense. Let's see what the initial call was.
It's offside on the defense. It could be it's illegal procedure. Sulphur.
So that'll walk off 5 yards.
Yep.
Then it'll be a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. I don't know what the Acadiana coach is so upset about on the unsportsmanlike because it was well after the whistle.
Yeah, the whistle blew before the ball was snapped. So that should be first down.
That'll be a 1st and 10, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's 5 on Sulphur and then 15 on Acadiana. So that's a first down. So it's automatic or not.
Look at this. Let's see if they. He spotted it wrong. He only gave him 13 yards. So the side judge was saying he's short, but it was 2nd and 10, and then a 5-yard penalty one way, and then 15 the other way is a first down. But they've got it right.
Yep, 1st and 10 at the 43 now for the Tours. Different formation down. Sulphur will run it. A little bit of room, but boy, linebacker swallows up Burgess pretty quick.
Linebacker, then that safety number 2 walks up in there as well. He had already started walking up on that line of play, so your wideouts were going to have, like I said, that's going to be continually what we have to look at from an offensive standpoint is that our wideouts are going to be man-to-man out there. And I don't know what kind of speed that Acadiana's got, but I know Hopkins has got another gear for the Golden Tour, so they're going to, at some point in time, look to get him loose deep tonight.
2nd and 6 from the 47. 2 minutes to go.
Bunch formation for the Tours this time.
They'll shift out of that. Dump off, incomplete, intended for Austin Babez. Pressure was coming.
It was nice pressure by the defensive end right there, and Trahan had to get rid of the ball a lot sooner. Babez was open. He was going to have some room to run, but Trahan had to get rid of the ball so early that he just really had to try to throw to a spot and hope it was the right spot, but he overthrew him. So that's going to set up a 3rd, and we'll call it 3rd and 6.
Yep. From the 47. Tours down by 8 here in the first quarter. Receiver right, 2 to the left. On third down.
He's looking to his left.
Throwing deep. And I'm not sure if that was a mistake by Blaylock or a mistake by.
Well, they kind of got him and the
Strahan.
defensive back got tangled up a little bit. I think it was more inadvertent by both of them. They kind of bumped each other when they got about 15, 18 yards down the field. And I guess it could have been called pass interference, but like I said, it looked like neither one of them were at the time were looking for the ball, and they just kind of bumped into each other and they got off stride. So he just never was able to recover.
So Paez to kick on 4th down.
Interesting, Acadiana doesn't have anyone deep. Huh?
They called timeout again. So that's their second timeout.
Well, they had someone on the field, and he came off the field like he was a return guy.
Oh, well.
Let's mention some of our sponsors. Cutters Lawn Equipment in Lake Charles. For any of your lawnmower or lawn equipment needs, go see Cutters. A-Door Works, Joy Apsher, longtime supporter of the Golden Tours. Go see Joy at A-Door Works. Derek Trahan with McMullen, Mancuso, Trahan, and Funk. CPAs over Maplewood Drive. We appreciate their support. For any of your CPA needs, go see that group over there. And George's House of Flowers in Sulphur, another long-time, not only a long-time Golden Tour, a long-time Golden Tour supporter. And with homecoming coming up, some of the young men and young ladies will be needing some flowers. And or if you just happen to get in a doghouse and need some flowers, go see George at George's House of Flowers.
Paez to kick on 4th and 6. It's a good snap, no pressure whatsoever.
That's a nice kick right there. It's going to bounce inside the 20.
And it's going to stay in bounds near the 10-yard line.
I don't know if they were looking for a formation, Bruce. Coach Towery, he ran toward where Coach Towery was set up on the sideline, and his head was kind of up the whole time. I've never seen Paez in his 3 seasons that at least I can remember throw a pass. But I almost got to wonder if they were maybe looking, if they got a certain defensive formation, that they might have had a trick play that they were going to go to right there. But needless to say, it's a punt that pins the Acadiana Rams. Looks like the 12-yard line, Bruce.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood. The lines are not very dark here.
If you've been to Acadiana before, we have the typical field setup that you become accustomed to over here.
They play a lot of games on this field. On 1st down, of course, they'll run it up the middle.
Bruce, the other thing is this field isn't camelbacked. So fortunately, we're not. If it is, it's very, very little. Fortunately, very little. We're not scheduled for any rain tonight.
Yep. Nope. There's rain when we were coming down around Franklin and Morgan City, but that's not an issue now.
And we saw, if you've been seeing on the media this week about their parking situation, we saw that field tonight, and it definitely was not going to be a parking area that could be utilized. So they need a few days of some dry weather.
2nd and 8, and they will throw. And they will heave it deep.
That's a different quarterback,
way too deep.
I think. Maybe not.
It's at 6. I think it's 6 is the quarterback. He sidearmed that.
Yeah, it was all he could do and the bad thing about it was he overthrew that receiver probably by 20 yards. He didn't have to throw it near as far as he did.
And that receiver's got to run all the way back. 3rd down and 8.
Had good coverage on him, though. Toward the end, there was some separation, but I think the defensive back, number 23, realized that the ball was so far overthrown that wasn't anyone getting to that ball. Coverage was provided by Trenton Menard. 23. I don't have a 23 on my roster.
Me neither. Roll into the near side. The throw to the sideline is caught, but is he in bounds?
I think he got a foot. No, he's out of bounds. I thought he got 1 foot down. That's a great catch right there.
Yes, it was.
Number 17 for the Acadiana Rams. I see number 1, Grayson Stelly's back in the lineup this week. He was a little nicked up last week and sat out against Washington Marion, but coach is excited about having him back. He was on the coverage right there. Yeah, if he gets a foot down, for our listeners, that's going to be an ESPN top 10 type catch right there. He came down with the ball. I thought there's a couple different white lines down there for
yes, there is,
where the team can stand and stuff. So it's tough to see which one he got inside or outside of, but the side judge immediately marked him out of bounds.
It should be Richard. Not a great kick, but it takes a great bounce. The Tours will pick it up at midfield, and that's it. That's another thing about this team. And a flag goes
face
down.
mask, I think.
Yeah, is they don't. When they hit you, you're going down.
He fielded at the 50, and if he gets past the first guy, he's going to be inside the 40 easily. And that one guy, but we may.
I think it was the safety you were talking about.
That
Amir Hill,
number 2.
Yeah, I think so.
He's a big, long player as well. For our listeners, he's about 6'2". Yeah, face mask on the tackle. That's why he brought him down so easily right there. But he's a young man. It'd be interesting to read his name because he may be getting some looks at some point in time. He's a
junior.
Just a junior, but he's about 6'3", and probably has a wingspan of about 6'4". He looks like his wingspan's even bigger than his height. And long legs and can really close some ground and cover some field quickly. But so that's going to set up a 1st and 10, Bruce, all the way down to the 34-yard line. With just can't be much time left in the first quarter. I can't see
31 seconds. Trahan with the snap. It's low. He'll hand it off, and that'll cost him.
Yeah, we talked about that. We had trouble with that in the Jamboree, and 43 was in the ball game in the
William Gunter,
the backfield for the Golden Tours.
Yeah, that's the sophomore.
They got him listed as a linebacker, but that's his first action of the year on varsity.
It's a 2-yard loss back to the 35, and that should do it for the quarter.
We had some snap issues in the Jamboree and also last week, and we've mentioned it, I know, already this season, but it throws off the timing of those plays.
And that's the end of the first quarter. 8-0 Acadiana.
Tours are trying to get one more playoff right there, but
nope, didn't happen.
Come to an end. So after one quarter play, the Sulphur Golden Tours trail the Acadiana Wreckin Rams 8-0. Coming to you from, I believe this is Dotson Stadium.
Yeah, Dotson, Ted Davidson Field at Dotson Stadium or something like that. Yeah. 2 guys that have been coaching here for years and years.
You know, an interesting fact. This was Coach Towery's first high school coaching job when he graduated. Back then, it was USL.
Yep.
But Acadiana was his first stop. So still has several good friends on the staff over here. So it's always an interesting. In fact, one of his friends he talks to several times a week throughout the season. And this is always a little different conversation this week, and when the two teams are going to tie up a little bit.
One of the Wrecking Rams wearing orange shoes.
Well, we've got one wearing neon green gloves, I think.
Yeah, I did see that.
So.
Here comes the blitz on 2nd down, and it's dumped into one of the defensive players' hands.
Looking to run a screen right there.
And he's going to score.
That's that defensive tackle I mentioned earlier, number 94, I believe.
Is that it? He threw it right at him, and there was nobody there. That'd be Byron Woodall.
Yeah, I don't know if they blitzed a linebacker or a safety, but he came up the middle untouched. And we had the perfect play called for in a blitzing situation. But that defensive lineman we mentioned, he's about 6'5". And he just reached up and grabbed that ball and only had one tackler in a position to make the tackle. And once he gets past him, I think he goes about 54 yards.
I wrote it at 55.
55 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's somewhere in that neighborhood, trying to set up the screen as they were coming. And he threw it right to Woodall. And we'll get Sulphur offsides again. So it's 14-0. Awaiting the extra point attempt. It is against Sulphur. Yeah. Same play. Yep, you're going to do the same thing.
They're going to bring their offense back out here, though. So they're going to go for 2 once again. You know, Bruce, on an offense, that's a frustrating interception right there. Wasn't a whole lot probably Trahan could do other than maybe throw it away, I guess. But, you know, the offense had been moving the ball. And
it's offsides on them.
Acadiana just sent more now you think they're going to go for it now if they got more room to operate. They sent the offense back on the field. So they're going to go for it. First, it'd be an extra point attempt from the 8 or 9 yard line, looks like.
From the 8. They're going to go for 2? Really? No. They want to get them off, huh?
Well, you know, it's interesting. The Acadiana coach is very
he's out at the numbers.
But the guy, he got
he's going to get
flag.
penalized. Yeah.
But the far judge, I think what happened, he set offsides, but I think it was the Acadiana lined up offsides.
Yeah.
He didn't say which side. He didn't,
And
because I saw the side judge say offsides, and I think that's what he's saying was the far guy said he was offside. So how's it against Acadiana? Not sure in high school if that's actually what they call. But yeah, he's still going. He's very upset over there. Now you got two of them upset. But that's going to be a 15. It's going to be 15 yards.
Should be.
So that's 8 and 15. That's 23. That'll be.
Or they got to call it a sideline warning.
I don't know. He was way on that field, Bruce.
Yeah, he was out the numbers.
Well, the side judge was going to give him an opportunity to walk off, and I don't know if he said the magic word because the white hat ended up throwing the penalty from the middle of the field.
He's way over on the other side.
So let's see if
they're going to leave it alone here.
Yeah, maybe they just ended up giving him a sideline warning. What's interesting, though, he threw the flag, and he still hasn't made any kind of signal of why he threw the flag.
No.
Yep.
Well, now they'll come out and kick it.
You're the PA announcer saying sideline warning.
Yeah, I did see that right after he threw the flag. Well, they'll make the extra point exciting with all of that. And Sulphur jumped again.
I was just about saying it's about the time.
Yep. So that'll be a 2.5-yard penalty on Sulphur. But that's just half the distance to the goal.
Half the distance so go down to the 4 now.
Yeah. Extra points are not supposed to be this entertaining.
So they're going to line up once again.
Now, if they jump off sides this time, it'll move it to the 2. So then they'll go for 2.
Kicks up, and they play with the short goalpost here, so it gets a little tough to see, but the kick is good.
Yep. And it's Richard with the extra point.
So early in the second quarter, coming off a 55-yard interception return by the Acadiana Rams, they've moved out to a 15-0 lead over the Sulphur Golden Tours.
Big changes coming to the high school playoffs.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit on the way over here.
Yep, we will go to classes. Sulphur will be in class 1. And what it is they bunched everyone together and divided by 4. And I think they're 42, 42, 42, and 41.
Public school class.
Yeah, public school, yeah, the non-select. And the select will be the same way. It's just there are fewer of them. And we will play 4 teams. The top 4 teams will get a bye. 28 teams will make the playoffs. So it's not quite as easy. Right now it was 32. Now it will be 28. And there are more teams in your classification. So 5 and 5 will probably still get you in, but it might not. Same thing will happen in baseball, basketball. They're offsides on kickoff.
One of the things we were talking about as well, the Lafayette schools in 5A, it appears to be, at least from what we read earlier on the way over here, Acadiana, Lafayette, and Como are going to be moved due to the way they do their enrollment practices over here, I guess, for lack of a better term. They'll be moving to the select classification.
They will not be in the playoffs.
Even though they're in our district.
Yeah, I think Karen Crow,
New Iberia, and Southside.
Yeah, Karen Crow's in there too.
Oh, Karen Crow was going to the non-select.
No. Karen Crow's the select. Yeah.
So it'd be Southside.
New Iberia and
us and Southside, I guess, huh?
Let's see. I thought, Southside and Sulphur are.
And then Barb, obviously Barb and Sam Houston.
Yeah, those are non-select schools, so they will be in the playoffs together. Penalty means it'll be fielded at the 10 to the 20.
That's Hopkins. He's got some room out there.
30, 40, 50 into Acadiana territory where he has wrestled out of bounds.
Let's talk about the 45, maybe the 44.
Yeah, the 44-yard line. Sulphur cannot complain about field position.
So that's a 45-yard return for Hopkins. So that's exactly.
Sulphur has started 2 drives near midfield.
Well, one of the random somebody milling around in the end zone just leveled us either Sulphur or Acadiana camera down there. That big tripod. If you watch the tuna fishing show, it's similar to one in green. They call it a green stick one in boats. It's about 40 foot up in the air.
All right, luckily, first and 10 Sulphur.
Luckily, it didn't hit him one on the head.
That's an expensive toy to have fall.
Tours really need to score right here, Bruce. Kind of get this thing.
Couple of play fakes.
Yeah, it's going to be a
flags for holding, and they'll decline that. He's sacked. Trahan goes down at his own 47-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 10 yards.
Yeah.
So second and 19.
Babaz was beat on the far side, and his only opportunity to keep Trahan from really getting crunched right there was to grab a hold of a jersey. And like I said, it still ends up resulting in a sack, so the penalty would be declined. 10-yard loss either way.
Yeah, but now you lose the down also. So that's about a 9-yard loss at second and 19.
Acadiana is getting a good enough push up front to the Tours. Every time the Tours have taken that deep drop, that 5 and 7 step drop, they've had trouble with that defensive front. So they're going to have to kind of go back to these little quick hitters.
Second and 19. Trahan to throw.
Hopkins
complete.
Is wide open.
50 to the 46-yard line, back into Acadiana territory. It'll bring up third and long anyway, third and 13. Sulphur down 15-0 here, just underway. It's the second quarter.
Nice job by Trahan right there, though. He didn't try to go get all of it. He didn't try to get 19 yards back in one play. And, being down, it's 15-0. We may already be in 4-down territory right here, in my opinion, Bruce.
I think if you can get it inside the 40,
yeah. So if you can get a 4th and 5 or shorter, I think you'll go for it.
Two receivers out here to the right, one to the left. Burgess in the backfield. Doors going from left to right here in the second quarter. 3-man front. They'll send 4. Trahan is going to go down.
Looks
back
like
where he was originally.
He may have got stepped on by one of his offensive linemen. One of the linemen kind of got pushed into the backfield.
Jalen Lawrence was back there. Gets credit for the sack, but he was the only guy back there. So it's 4th and 19.
Yeah, that loss of the play obviously is going to set up a punting situation. Yeah. Mr. Paez head back out on the field. Line of scrimmage looks like it's going to be the Sulphur 47-yard line.
I think that's Hill back deep.
I don't know how you can see that.
He turned sideways. He turned his back to the press box.
Another nice kick by Paez. It's going to be fielded just inside the 20. Move. Breaks the tackle at the 21. Across the 30, across the 35, across the 40.
And
Paez is there. Paez
put a shoulder into him, knocked him onto the track.
Paez hits him at about the 40-yard line, and that lick appeared to get him clear of the field by a good 5 yards.
Yeah, he almost hit a cheerleader.
Well, it's a good thing Paez was back there doing his job, because if once he clears that Paez,
he wasn't needed. He's out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
Oh, wow. How did he step out of bounds there?
They mark him out of bounds at the Acadiana 47-yard line.
Fortunately,
so got a free lick in there.
Fortunately, the whistle didn't blow, and we got a 15-yard penalty right there. But no one had stopped.
No one stopped.
None of the referees. It must have just been the one side judge had it marked, because even the referees were still moving with him.
So 1st and 10 from the Sulphur 47 for Acadiana. The option will come this way. Quarterback will keep it at a good defensive play for maybe a yard gain.
That's going to be number 6 for the Golden
that's Tyler
Tours.
Massey.
Tyler Massey, senior safety.
A 1-yard pickup. So it's 2nd down and 9. So the best defensive play for the Tours.
Well, it looks like they've walked Massey up and almost into an outside linebacker position. He's normally a safety for the Golden Tours.
I think that is Hill on the other side as a receiver. Surely he doesn't play both ways. They will throw it that direction. That is tipped up
in the air. Oh!
Sulphur had their hands on it twice.
Sulphur got a tip up in the air. I think that was Coleman, number 18. No, excuse me, Carson Covan.
Yep.
Number 18 had an opportunity at it, and just goes off his fingertips. That would have been a big turnover there for the Tours at midfield. But with that play, it sets up a third and 9.
9:04 to go in the first half.
Bruce, I hate to say it, but I mean, the defense is, I don't want to jinx them, but the defense has played fairly well in this ball game. Only giving up the one long drive score, but other than that, they've more than held their own.
The other was an interception return. And they will run it.
Yeah, he faked it at fullback, and he went to pivot back the other side. Trim was right there. I don't think he'd have gone very far, but he cleats and everything get caught up in the turf, and he goes down for 1 yard loss back to the original line of scrimmage.
So they'll punt.
And Acadiana will send out the punt team.
I thought he may have dropped the ball and luckily fell on it, but it is a loss of a yard. So it happens, but it's very rare. The Acadiana offense will.
So it looks like we're going to send Hopkins back. He'll set up at about the 16-yard line.
So it'll be Richard to kick.
Sometimes what you see with these speed teams, Bruce, is that runner, that quarterback right there in the situation, he just gets to moving so fast that his feet just go off from underneath him.
And they will fake it, and it will work. First down.
And we had nobody.
35-30, 25-yard line.
So they snapped it. They were on the near hash mark.
Oh, this isn't good.
And they short snapped it to their up man, and he took the ball around the right end, and they didn't have a gunner on that side, so we had no one out wide right there, and resulted in a big play, which is a first down for the Acadiana Wreckin Rams.
Gain of 28 yards.
Bruce, that's one of them read plays that the kicking team goes out and they take a look at what they're seeing with the defense. And if they get their right formation, it's an automatic read into that play. And obviously they got what they were looking for from that read right there, and it results in a big first down.
We have a different quarterback. DeBetta will run it, bounces it outside.
I think that's the quarterback that was in the game that made that long pass a while ago.
It may have been.
That wasn't the
either 6 or 9, and this is 9.
That wasn't the quarterback that was just in the game their previous series that stumbled in the backfield.
It's a gain of 3, so second down and 7. For Acadiana from the Sulphur 22-yard line. They're leading it by 15.
Bruce, I hope we're not scheduled for any rain. I see that flag really picking up.
No, there's no rain around us.
That's a little read option play right there.
It is DeBetta. They get it inside the 20, close to the 18-yard line. It's third down and 3 coming up for Acadiana.
So this is obviously, from what we've seen so far, this will be 4-down territory for the Rams as well. So
they want to give their kicker some work.
The defense looks to stiffen up right here. And we're also kind of reaching a point in the game where Acadiana has played very well on defense, so they're not really worried about turning the ball over on 4 downs if they don't make it.
Our flag's down.
See if we get legal procedure. So that move from 3rd and 3 now to 3rd and 8.
That's the 5th penalty against Acadiana for 45 yards in this one. It'll be 3rd and 8 now as they'll back it up beyond the 20 to about the 23-yard line.
That's another thing, Bruce. You don't see a lot of penalties generally when you play Acadiana because they run the ball so much. The offensive line has very few opportunities to get called for holding because they're never in pass protection.
And they're always pushing people forward.
Yeah.
Or backwards in the case of the defense. The bet up under center as always, trying to get Sulphur to jump.
Yeah, he barked a couple signals and kind of bobbed his head. Sulphur didn't budge.
Timeout.
Okay, that'd be Acadiana's last timeout.
Yeah, that is. That's right.
That's their third timeout.
And the thing is, we're 17 seconds away from the water break. Of course, I guess they were going to run out of time on the play clock for that. So anyway, playoffs will be different this year. Well, they'll be different because you could see different people, different teams that you don't normally see. The higher 4A schools will now be in the same class with Sulphur in the playoffs.
Yeah, a little different set of teams now.
Yep.
But I think we were talking most of the 4A teams like Leesville and DeRidder.
Yeah,
those guys will stay in. They'll stay in 4A, right?
Yes.
And Class 2.
Yeah, Class 2. They'd have to go through here like one at a time. I don't see any local 4A schools that will move up. It's hard to see this now.
So 3rd and 8 for their Acadiana and Wreckin Rams.
And they will fumble the football forward and still fumbles it. Sulphur's got it. Yep.
He fumbled that ball and he kicked it about 5 yards. And I'd be daggone if he didn't fall right back on the ball, but it squirted out again. And the Sulphur Golden Tours following it for a big turnover. That's a big play there for the defense, Bruce. Especially coming off that crazy fake punt right there. You know, your defense had played real well, had them 3 and out, gave up the punt return team, gave up a fake punt. But the defense holds strong once again and causes a turnover. I don't know if that running back, I don't know if he ever really got the ball. He kind of looked like he was kind of grasping for it from the very get-go. But, you know, that's a little different play as well. They handed the ball off to the 3rd back through that time.
So each team with a turnover.
Kind of the veer version of a misdirection, I guess.
3 receivers to the left for the Tours. Trahan with the football. Handed off to Burgess, sweeping that way, and he's going to get a yard.
Well, Acadiana just does a great job of running to that ball, Bruce. It looks like he had a hole right there.
Yep. And he had the 3 blockers.
Yeah, when he goes to step into that hole, he's just immediately met by a Wreckin Ram, and that's going to bring us to the water break after a gain of 1.
I did run across one school that was obvious that is in 4A that will be in the playoffs in Class 1, and that's Westgate. So they would be in the playoffs, even though they are a 4A team, be in the playoffs in the same classification with Sulphur. It affects the small schools, as there are a lot of these 3A schools that will play 2A schools in the playoffs. Lagrange and Jennings are now together again.
So, yeah, like you mentioned, it's going to bring about some interesting matchups.
Yep.
And, you know, one of the things with Acadiana's state championship runs over all these years, you know, you heard a lot of talk about, well, just think if they were with the privates again. Yeah. Well, for the playoffs, they are. So, I mean, you could start seeing some matchups like Acadiana and Catholic or Acadiana and Romo.
Well, no, you won't see those. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. They're in the non-select. I forget about that. Or they're in the select. That was a nice move Burgess in the backfield. Yeah, Burgess will pick up
play right there.
About 7 to the 21-yard line to bring up a 3rd down and a long 3.
Well, the Tours, when they've been able to get themselves in manageable 2nd and 3rd down plays, they've done well with their offense. It's when they've gotten a sack on 1st down and creates 2nd and 15, that type of thing. That's the plays they've struggled with. But the time when they are able to keep the ball moving on 1st and 2nd down, the offense actually hasn't played bad tonight at all, in my opinion.
So 3rd down and almost 4. Trahan to throw. It is caught on a slant. Nice play job. Lock. Yep. Executed that perfectly. They'll pick up 10 yards, and we've got a.
Well, and I tell you what happened right there, too. He was the outside receiver. The inside receiver was covered by a safety, and that safety backed off about 10 yards off of that slot receiver. And when he did that, it opened up room for that outside man to run a slant. And Trahan did a nice job of recognizing what was going on right there and hits him for a pretty easy pitch and catch for a big 1st down there for the Tours.
2nd 1st down for Sulphur. Acadiana only has 4. 3 of those came on their first possession. Of course, they have the touchdown on the 55-yard interception return. They lead at 15-0 here, 5:11 to go in the 2nd quarter here in Scott.
Didn't see a number over there, but Acadiana's got a player down near the Sulphur sideline. So Sulphur trainers went out to assist with him originally. And Acadiana's made
it's not a cramp. So.
No, I don't think we'll see any cramps tonight. Nice weather. What beautiful weather, Bruce, for Friday night football in Louisiana.
Yeah. If it wasn't cloudy to the east, we'd have a full moon now.
Well, when I got in my truck this morning about 6:45, it was, I think, 67 or 68. So we're close, getting some of that cooler fall weather.
Bring it on. Because it hasn't been terribly hot. since the 4th of July because it's rained every day. Who the injured Ram is, maybe we can see.
Looks like maybe a right leg,
Knee or ankle.
getting some assistance. So it's one of their big men. I can't get a number on him yet, though.
Yes, he is a tall gentleman. Hard to read those numbers.
That may be 94, the man that had the interception return. Let's see.
Oh, the kid with the orange shoes was doing the PA for St. Louis last week. And this guy in there with me helps me spot. He takes care of the music. And they were blowing out Crowley. And his son came in. And the reason he knew it was his son without looking at the number is he had him wear red shoes. Different colors from every shoe. So I want to wear these different shoes so I can see when you're in there without having to see your number.
Whatever it takes sometimes, huh?
1st and 10 for the Tours from their own 31-yard line, trailing at 15-0 here. Trahan to throw. Going to throw deep.
It is Hopkins. A lot of hand fighting out there. I'm surprised there wasn't a flag. Really, we're letting a lot of tugging on Hopkins right there.
As that is at least the second play like that, where he was just an arm away from getting to it. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Let's say they moved it back to the 30, but it's a 31.
Well, that pass play right there, though, I think there's not so much hand fighting going on. I think he gets to that ball.
Yeah,
That's what's a little frustrating about that no call right there on defensive pass interference.
Slows him down just enough. Blitz comes, and it worked perfectly. This is going to be Gunter again for a big loss, back to the 26-yard line. Blitz was coming, and the Tours ran right into it.
I wonder if that's DeMarcus Williams, who normally wears 41.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, because Gunter is listed as a sophomore linebacker, and I would find it very hard to believe that he would be in there.
Yeah, and I haven't seen Williams in the game at all tonight, so I'm just kind of wondering if that may be not
You are
him.
probably right.
That's a big loss of 5. Bruce on the play sets up a 3rd and 15 now.
Yep. You got to have a lot of time to throw 3rd and 15. And Trahan's not getting a lot of time. Here comes the blitz again.
You saw him coming, huh?
Yep. It'll be a 4th down and a loss of 2.
They're just sending more than we're blocking. I mean, they're picking a side, one either left side or the right side, and just line up an extra guy on that side when they know our tackle is going to be man up with that defensive end, and they're just sending that guy off the edge. And like I say, they're sending, if we've got 5 blocking, they're sending 6.
Russell Babineau is the deep man.
Looks like he'll set up his own 43-yard line.
It's a good snap. Paez with a good kick. Fielded at the 35-yard line.
On the run, too.
And out of bounds.
Chased out of bounds. Looks like by number 18, I think that's Carson Covan.
Out of bounds at the 42-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Now they're going to.
Bruce, this is a point of the game. It's kind of critical on your defense. They've been on the field a lot here in this first half. We mentioned that Veer just kind of wears down that defense. You can play it well for a quarter, a couple of quarters, and you kind of think you got them where they want you, but they kind of take you off into that deep water, as they like to say.
They just beat on you with these big old linemen. On the option, the pitch to the far side. Not a great pitch, but coming down with it is Babineau. He got pushed backwards about 2 or 3 yards. He'll end up picking up 4 on the play to the Sulphur, or rather to the Acadiana 46-yard line.
Was that 23 again? We don't have him on our roster, but 23 got into the backfield right there and caused him to go a little deep, but he didn't have much support with him. He ends up gaining 5 or good 4.
Yep. Of course, you got to keep him out of the end zone. They get the football to start the second half.
Yeah, we heard the PA announcer just announced as well. Lafayette High over Como, 14-0. Another district ball game.
Karen Crow's at Barb. Oh, there's a tackle for a loss. Small loss, but any loss at Acadiana
That was number
is big.
6, Massey, Tyler Massey, coming off that edge again. Tyler's done a nice job tonight when he recognizes, you got to be careful, though, but when he recognizes that play isn't coming his way, he's really pinching down and running that line very well, and he tackles him for no gain right there.
3rd and 6 coming up. The South Side does not play a district game this week. They'll have 8 in a row. So New Iberia playing Sam tonight. The option will come to the near side. Tours wrap it up. Very short gain.
That's number 4,
Lemaire. Yeah, with that big cast. Gain of a yard. 4th down. They'll go for it. It appears 4th down and 4 from the 48-yard line, their own 48. At 2:15 to go, the clock running here in the second quarter, and they're going to go for it. They faked the punt. The last 4th down. Picked up 25 yards on their best play of the night. That was an interception.
Karen Crow's up 22-6 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, that one's not going to be pretty either.
Yeah, Karen Crow's got a very strong team once again.
Defending state champions at 4A. 4A.
Yeah, 4A.
They're going to let the clock run down and take the 5 yards.
Just made the move up. And see, that's a different quarterback back in the game, Bruce. That's that option. That's that running quarterback. Is it number 6, maybe?
The 6 is, he's the starter, Aiden Trahan.
So it was
They'll send the punter back out.
Yeah, the punter go back in now.
See, Karen Crow will not be in the playoffs with Sulphur because they're considered a select school.
Man, that select playoffs is, nothing against the non-select playoffs, but that select playoff bracket, adding some of those teams, is just going to flat out be loaded. Well, I say loaded, it's going to be back to the way it used to be.
The way it was.
I mean, we talked about that on the way over as well.
It's 4th and 9. Sulphur will have linebackers, so to speak.
See, Acadiana doesn't have any gunners again.
Nope, but Sulphur had 3 guys waiting for it. Richard's kick.
Hopkins fielded about the 24. That's
25
not Hopkins.
To the 30.
It's number 16.
About the 34-yard line. No, that's DePriest.
DePriest.
Yeah, Brody DePriest.
Did a nice job last week against Washington Marion.
So Sulphur will have a minute 29 to work. They've got 2 timeouts.
It's about a 10-yard return, Bruce, up to the 34.
Not a very good punt for a guy who can put the kickoff into the end zone.
If you weren't able to make the game live tonight, we do appreciate you watching through Tornado Radio Network and then flipping over to the link through our YouTube channel. No video tonight, but hopefully me and Bruce are doing a good enough job with the audio for you. Golden Tours are still in this ball game, Bruce, but, score right here would definitely build some momentum going into halftime.
Just a 3-man front. Sulphur will run against it. Burgess escapes one, but won't escape the second. They do not miss tackles.
Well, I see that defensive line right there. Burgess breaks the tackle, but when he breaks that tackle, he's about 4 yards deep.
Yeah.
Then we mentioned it wasn't 94 that got hurt, but that was 94 on the tackle, on the attempted tackle right there. But he makes Burgess go so deep to get around him.
The loss of 4.
Once he beats him, the defense is there to tackle him for a 4-yard loss.
Under a minute to go here in the first half, 15-0, Acadiana.
That play was almost run like we want to make sure we don't give them the ball back before halftime. We'll see if he puts the ball in the air here, another handoff.
It's another handoff.
Yeah, it's going to be a handoff up the middle. He's going to be tackled for a short
Williams
3-yard, looks like maybe a 3-yard gain.
A 3rd down coming up because they have no timeout, so that Sulphur does not have to run another play.
Yeah, I think Coach Tower is looking ahead to halftime and kind of maybe get them regrouped. While they're down 15-0, they've really played a good first half of football, other than having some trouble moving the ball on offense. But they've played a good half on defense, and I think Coach Tower just wants to be able to take the team back into halftime and not give up. Not give Acadiana, which can be a quick strike offense, give them an opportunity. So going into halftime, the Sulphur Golden Tours trail the Acadiana Wreckin Rhymes 15-0. We're going to take about a 20-minute break, and When we come back for the second half, Acadiana, as you mentioned, will receive the second half kickoff, so we'll put the defense right back on the field. But let's take a little break, and we'll be back with you in probably about 18 minutes.
Yep.
Don Martin, Bruce Mergent with Tornado Radio Network. There's your full moon, Bruce.
There it is.
Bruce Merchant, Don Martin with Tornado Radio Network coming back to you from Acadiana High School. Bruce, I was noticing Acadiana's a little slow getting back on the field there, and Sulphur was ready for the kickoff, and finally that referee went over the sideline and said something to the Acadiana coach, and he kind of simbled like, well, I don't have my team's not on the field yet. And I think he kind of gave him well, you better get him on the field.
Yeah, that's delay a game.
Look, he's already marked it. Acadiana is just moving on to the field. He's already marked Paez good to kick off.
He was yelling at him again, their head coach. He's not having fun tonight, even though he's up 15-0. Paez to kick from the south 40. Short kick, and it will go out of bounds. Great field position for Acadiana on the penalty, unless they want him to.
Tell you what, Acadiana's had a couple, and I just noticed that he's on the 40-yard line walking off the field. I can't get a number, but they've had a couple of their kick return guys kind of take semi-blindside cheaper shots at the Sulphur defense.
There was an incident earlier in the game.
Yeah, I thought that they were fixing to be flags headed both ways. There was a lot of headbutting going on.
Yes.
But and actually no flag came out in that situation. But nevertheless, it's going to set up the Acadiana Rams 1st and 10 now at their own 35-yard line to kick off the third half. As Bruce mentioned, the Rams currently lead the Golden Tours 15-0 in what was a somewhat offensive lackluster first half by both teams.
On the first play of the quarter, again, they go up the middle. And again, the Tours are there on defense. This time, Williams will drag a couple of Tours for a couple of yards. He ends up picking up nearly 4.
Acadiana led off the game on their first possession, and they went 80-plus yards for a score. And after that, both defenses kind of locked in. And
they have picked up 1 first down since
then.
That possession.
And what you mentioned, there were 6 between both teams.
Total. Yep, Sulphur has 2. They have 4, and one of those came on the 15-yard touchdown run.
In case you didn't listen to the entire first half, the Acadiana's second score came on a 55-yard interception return by their defensive tackle. Intercepted a screen pass.
This will be close to the first down out near the 45.
I'm marking him about a yard short. He's going to be at the 44.
3rd and 1. Hippolyte.
Bruce, that's a prime example right there. They made contact after about a 1-yard gain, and the offensive line and the running back just kind of kept moving their legs, and Golden Tours couldn't get in a real good tackling position right there and just kind of move the pile of humanity for a 4-yard gain. Actually marked him back another yard, looks like. So it's 3rd and 2.
That's what I thought. It was not a great spot. Well, they'll pick up the first down.
Man, they just run that play so beautifully. If you're a fan of football.
Old school football. Pick up 4 yards on the play out to the Sulphur 48-yard line.
Yeah, I highly doubt you see an Acadiana quarterback have to ice his arm after a game.
Nope. Maybe his hand from handing off. That'd be about it.
This is the area of the field, though, Bruce. We've seen the Golden Tour defense kind of really bow their neck here around midfield through much of the first half.
1st and 10 from the 48. They'll hand it off to the right side this time, inside Sulphur territory.
Number 18, Carson Covan, was there first to make contact. Looks like it's going to be a gain of 3.
Yeah, this is what it looked like in their first possession. 2 here, 3 there, first down.
Well, we mentioned one of the things, in the past with a Coach Davidson-led team, if they found a play that was working, they would just continually run that play all game long. And Coach Dotson or whoever the offensive coordinator is calling the plays, has kind of like to go through his playbook, at least in the first half. So we'll see if they go to some more stuff quarterback keeper right there.
Yep, and he may be gone. Sidestep 1 toward. He's caught from behind by Massey. That's their best play of the game.
So the quarterback faked the handoff to the up back, and then as soon as the up back feels the hole, the quarterback just turns and follows him. And as we're tackling the up back, the quarterback kind of bumps it out to the outside a little bit, and he's got to gain all the way down just to the 20-yard line. But once again, that's a little different wrinkle than what I don't think we've seen that play quite run like that. We've seen a couple of quarterback keepers, but we haven't seen that that little wrinkle right there in the entire first half.
Receiver left and right for show. Backs are split. And whistles. And a flop.
I think we'll get legal procedure. Yep.
Well, that is the 7th penalty I have here for 55 yards for Acadiana.
Yeah, and I mean, like I mentioned it earlier, Acadiana usually calls as far as the legal procedure type penalties. They generally run a pretty clean ball game, so it's a little surprising. Their offense has just been a little bit out of sync tonight as far as with all the false starts. And you got to wonder, they use 2 different quarterbacks, Bruce.
Yep.
So you got to maybe wonder a little bit that some of that's related to the quarterback and his sequence and his cadence.
Now 2 receivers come out here to the near side. On 1st and 15, they will throw. It is caught at the 20, and they did not tackle, and it's a touchdown. Torres pushed him, but he didn't go out of bounds. It is a touchdown. Don't know who.
Yeah, look,
there's a flag.
I sure thought we had a block in the back right there.
That's going to be against Sulphur. DeBetta with the pass.
Right in the middle of the field.
Oh, that would be holding. Oh, it's against Sulphur. Touchdown is good. A personal foul. Roughing the passer. Sulphur on the kickoff. So that'll come on the kickoff. Still don't know who caught the pass. 25-yard touchdown pass. See if we can get an extra point here without somebody being offside.
It's a frustrating play there for the defense, Bruce. Had him for a short gain, and credit the Rams. They came out to start the second half, did a great job of scripting plays that they thought would work, and then were able to march the ball down just as they did to open up the first half for a score.
Extra point is ugly.
I think it was a penalty.
We're going to get offsides on somebody. Nope.
Side judge ran in like he had a penalty call, but
so it's 22-0. Same as the first possession.
Yeah, Bruce.
3 first downs and a touchdown.
It's going to be tough. It's a tough job to beat the Rams, period. But it makes it even tougher when the first possession of the first half and first possession of the second half, they go right down the field and score both of those times. Okay. And as we mentioned, the Golden Tour defense really played a good first half, in my opinion. And
that was 2 big plays right there.
Yeah. 25-yard pass play and then the quarterback keeper for about another 25, 30-yard run.
And on this one, they had 2 chances at him, and they didn't wrap him up, and he didn't go out of bounds when they pushed him.
No, the first defender looked like he was trying to lay one of them big hits.
Yeah.
And
didn't connect.
He hit him, but the receiver kind of just spun off of him. And trying to figure out exactly where to spot the ball now after that.
It'll be at the 45-yard line. It's Sulphur territory.
Yeah, because they kick off from the 40.
Yep.
So the kicker's got it at the 45. He's just at the wrong 45.
Yeah, he's at the wrong one.
He's like, way more.
Here or where? No, they're going to tell you where.
Now the side judge isn't sure where it goes either.
No, it's roughing the passer. It's going to go 15
yards.
It
goes on the kickoff. Yeah, they chose not to take it on the extra point.
Why don't we just save ourselves the trouble
from what I've seen,
just put it to the 20-yard line?
And from what I've seen, he doesn't need it much. Yeah.
He's going to kick it in the end zone anyway.
Tell you, though, as well as that defense have played, if they really wanted to right here, though, what you might see is an onside
kick. Yeah. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm not looking to give Karen Crow any ideas. But hopefully the return team, that was put in their ear before they left the sideline, just in case. Acadiana's got to feel real good about this game though after that score. He may kick it through the end goalpost.
Did he get an Uno there? We used to have an indoor football.
That is a weapon that I don't think gets discussed enough, especially when you have a return man like Hopkins deep for Sulphur. legitimately one of the faster young men in our district, if not the state of Louisiana. And when you're able to keep that ball out of his hands, and I think he's only got one catch tonight. Tours have tried to get him involved in the deep passing game, but just haven't been able to get him there.
He will come out wide left. The Tours will run it. They'll get maybe 3 out to the 23-yard line. I think
Probably
that's Burgess.
Burgess, yeah. Oh, that's at 23.
Yeah.
Burgess is 22. That's back to I think at 23. We're guessing. We apologize, but we're guessing that's Williams in the ball game.
Same formation, 3 receivers to the left. On second and 7. Trahan to throw.
Get some time to throw right there.
Yep.
Nice pass to 82.
It's Austin. We've seen that play a couple of times, and I was watching him go down and then cut out. And right as he makes the cut, the ball is there.
Was he on this side of the line, or he was on the top?
On this side.
Yeah, okay. But he was probably the closest to the line, the tackle. So. Yeah. He lets the outside 2 receivers clear everything out, then he just runs a little out pattern right there.
Now they'll bunch everybody in here on 1st and 10 from the 34. Trahan will hand it off. Coming to the near side is Williams, we think.
Well, he's running hard. He's getting some tough yards. Another nice gain of 2, maybe 3 right there.
Out across the 35 to the 37. It's a pickup 3. Second down at 7. 6:55 to go in the third quarter. 22-0 Acadiana.
But Bruce, when you're able to run the ball like this, it really, really helps out that passing game because it kind of opens up that defense. You know, we really, for the most part, weren't able to get any sort of running game going in the first half.
Pistol formation now for the Tours.
See, they're bunching everyone up. This is the defense that's really giving us problems, and they send that outside guy.
Yep, and Trahan runs past him. Going to throw deep, and he's going to throw it into the cheerleaders.
He saw Hopkins too late. He had Hopkins open. Hopkins ran a deep crossing pattern, and as he's rolling, Hopkins has to continue to run as well. And Trahan just wasn't able to see him early enough to hit him.
So it's 3rd and 7 from the 37-yard line for the Tours.
The running back did a nice job right there. He picked up a blitzing outside safety or linebacker. I couldn't tell who it was.
Yeah, somebody was coming in.
He chipped him just enough that enabled Trahan to get some room on that rollout, little bootleg.
2 receivers right, 1 left. Trahan to throw. Dumps it off. Complete.
Yeah, but he's
hammered.
Yeah, that linebacker, he's sitting there waiting on that play.
So the Tours will punt on 4th and 10 back at the 35, 34-yard line.
He's got one job right there, and that's to stay with that running back. And as soon as that running back, I thought Trahan may have kind of played his card too quickly right there. And but as soon as he read Trahan throwing to that little swing back, that release back, he really lowered the boom on him. I think we're going to get a water timeout.
Exactly 6 minutes left. And the third quarter, 22-0. Acadiana on top.
So let's mention some of our sponsors that help us bring you these broadcasts week in and week out. Hollywood Barbershop, Troy Darby and his group of beauticians as well. I think he has several ladies cutting hair over there as well. They can take care of all your men's, women's, or children's haircut needs. Go see Troy at Hollywood Barbershop. Not only a former Golden Tour, but a longtime Golden Tour supporter. Jennifer Maybu, State Farm Agency on Douglas Parkway. For any of your insurance needs, go see Jennifer and her team over there. We appreciate David, Missy, and Missy's Grocery. Me and David went to school together at Sulphur, and he's been a long-time supporter of anything that we've ever needed, whether it was Tornado Radio Network or Sulphur Tour Athletics or just Sulphur High School in general. He's been a very long-time sponsor and giving us anything and everything that we needed, so we certainly appreciate it. Go give David some business over there. Dr. Grimble, Pediatric Dentistry. I keep talking about him. I'm trying to figure out a way to go back to the pediatric dentist. Dr. Grimble's got lots of toys over there. And if your children are needing pediatric work, go see Dr. Grimble.
Paez with a nice punt.
Was that not blocking
a bunch of people?
He literally, there's a defender that literally continued to push. I can't see the number. In fact, he pushed him right past the referee. And I think that may have been Stelly, Grayson Stelly, number 1, yeah. And I think that's one of the things Grayson's like, you got to be kidding me. But he literally pushed him past the referee. The referee still never threw a flag.
1st and 10, Acadiana from the 33. I thought, it might have hit somebody. Their second possession of the second half.
So the defense did a nice job of once that first possession got past them in the first half, they did a nice job of making a few changes and seeing what the offense was doing. So let's see if they can make those changes and see if the Tours can get back in this ball game.
A give and a nice run. 45, 50, 40, 30, 20. Caught from behind. Nope. That is a 67-yard touchdown run. It's Williams. His great-grandmother's happy.
Bruce, he did a nice job right there. That play started to his right, and as soon as he gets through the line of scrimmage, he cuts it back hard all the way to his left. And the Sulphur defense had over-pursued there a little bit, and Grayson Stelly runs across the field and makes a hit on him at probably about the 15-yard line, but unfortunately he had enough momentum going, and Grayson just didn't quite have enough rocks in his back pocket, as they used to say, and he wasn't able to get him knocked out of bounds or get him down, and he walked into the end zone for an Acadiana Wreckin Ram, their second score of the second half.
On sportsmanlike conduct, I think was the call on Acadiana. It'll be a kickoff thing. I believe that's what has been called. Dead ball foul and sportsmanlike conduct Sulphur on the kickoff. So it's a Sulphur one.
Yeah, and they just took I'm not going to mention his number, but they just took one of the defensive lineman out of the game, and so you got to figure the penalty was on him.
So Sulphur will start from the 20-yard line once again. 29-0, 5:28 to go.
You know, Bruce, this is one of the things we mentioned in the first half is that Veer offense, that time possession type offense can really just suddenly deaden the legs of a defense. And that may be unfortunately, what we're seeing here for the Golden Tours here in the second half.
I thought the same thing on their first possession is they're finally.
Well, we didn't see those big plays. We talked about Sulphur was doing a great.
Half.
Yeah, Sulphur did a great job of limiting them. While they were down 15-0, they had limited the plays to 3 and 4 and 5 yard gains, probably at the very most.
We've seen 3 of 20 yards plus here in the second half.
Second half, yeah.
And again, they will start at the 20.
And they've only ran probably 9 plays in the second half, so 1 out of every 3 has been for 20 plus yards.
Yeah, that was a 1-play drive.
But that's what we mentioned. So as a Sulphur Tour sideline over there, Coach Towers kind of got to get them rounded up and. This one's going to be a tough one to battle back from here, but you've got to figure out ways to improve yourself and improve your team for the remainder of this ball game. So,
but this could be the best team they will see all year. You've still got Karen Crow and you still got Destrehan.
But all 3 of them teams are ranked in the top 8 in the state, I think.
So you're going to see those, but everybody else, that's it.
Well, one of the things I've mentioned or I've talked with Coach Tower about several times so far this year is, they knew they were going to have a tough task tonight, but they continually looked to control what they could control and improve on themselves. So while the score seems to be a little lopsided right here, I think Sulphur's played a better game than what the score indicates. And there are going to be some positives to take out of this ball game so far, but it's not over with. So, we just have to figure out a way here on offense. We've got to be able to move the ball against this tough Acadiana defense.
2 receivers to the right, 1 over here to the left. And they will throw deep, and Blaylock this time caught it.
Make a catch at the 50-yard line.
Yep.
Big gain. Or actually, the 49 looks like they're going to mark him. It's going to be a gain of 31.
Yeah, that time Hill didn't know exactly where the ball was, and he didn't have a hand on the receiver.
Well, I've noticed early in possessions that they've been walking that safety up, and then when it gets to be an obvious pass situation, they back that safety up. But right there, we mentioned it all night. Them wideouts have got man-to-man coverage, and he was just able to beat the defender right there for a night. And credit Trahan, a very nice pass by Trahan right there.
31-yard pickup, their best play of the night. I'll try it again. Quick this time. It is caught. Blaylock cannot spin away, drops the football, and it'll be Acadiana ball. They pick it up. It is not ruled dead. This is a touchdown. This one will go about 54 yards.
Yeah, Blaylock.
There's a flag way down on the other side of the field.
Yeah, I see it now. Blaylock had about a 3 or 4 yard gain, and he was just fighting there for extra yards, and that ball kind of got hanging out there, and one of the defenders simply reached in there and poked it out. But, from a senior wideout right there, though, that's a play right there. You got to go ahead and take your 3 or 4 yards, and I know he's fighting, but he's got to find a way to tuck that ball, tuck it away, and keep possession of it right there. So it's going to be a touchdown, a sideline warning against Sulphur. So that's what the penalty flag is for.
So their defense has scored 2 times tonight.
But we mentioned that's another one of the big plays. I know it wasn't on offense, but that's a 54, 55 yard.
54 yards.
Yeah.
The interception was about 55. And it is 36-0 with 4:38 to go in the third quarter. So we may see the new rule here. Not quite yet.
So while we got a quick break, let's mention some of our other great sponsors. 4D Outfitters at the Devals over on Cypress Street. For any of your Golden Tour paraphernalia or also other gift ideas, go see 4D Outfitters. Mike Willis Ford, if you're in the market for a new vehicle, just purchased one from Mr. Tony Tremonti. Got great service from those guys out there. But go see Tony Tremonti or Judd Barris or any of the crew over at Mike Willis Ford. Tell them Tornado Radio Network sent you. Cutter's Lawn Equipment in Lake Charles, multi-year sponsor of Tornado Radio Network. For any of your lawn care needs or lawn mowers, go see Cutter's Equipment. Joey Abshire, longtime supporter of Golden Tours, with A Door Works in Sulphur. She's done a lot of work since the hurricanes and put a lot of people back in a situation that they needed to be in with their garage doors and other door needs. So go see Joy and her crew over there.
Richard will kick. And this one will be returned from about the 3 yard line. For the 15-20, this is Blaylock. Brought down from behind, like by the jersey. Short of the 25 yard line.
So we'll mention the last two real fast. Derek Trahan with McMullen, Mancuso, Trahan, and Funk CPAs on Maplewood Drive. When you have the kind of funds that Bruce Merchant has, you need to get CPAs involved. So
yes, sir, I do.
Go see Derek Trahan and his group over there.
Yep.
And Derek, we appreciate your support of Tornado Radio Network. And George Vander, hey, George's House of Flowers. We keep mentioning homecoming is coming up. You're going to need some flowers. Go see George and tell him Tornado Radio Network sent you.
2 weeks, isn't it?
I believe 2 weeks.
Maybe
we'll get talk to George this weekend. Maybe he'll slide. He did last year. He'll slide us a little homecoming discount.
Trahan, lots of room to run on the other side. He'll pick up about 6.
6, maybe 7.
Yeah,
nice job by Trahan.
Yep. Faked it one way. He went the other. It's a gain of 7, so it'll be the second down and 3. The ball right about the 30 yard line with 4:10 to go in the third quarter.
Bruce, the Tours need to dig deep a little. They're going to kind of find out right here what they're made of. And I don't see these guys laying down whatsoever. They'll keep playing, like I say, we mentioned earlier, looking for ways to improve. Burgess on the little inside keep
Burgess,
right there.
He's got the first down. He picked up.
Oh, I think they marked him just short. I thought he had it too.
Okay, you're right.
That's
he had to get it out across the 30, which he did, but he needed to get it to the 34.
That's one of the things we mentioned, though, Bruce. He had a nice running lane right there, and then, all of a sudden, it just closes down quickly.
Yeah, they have the speed on defense.
I would almost venture to say they may have more speed on defense than they have on offense.
I think so.
And that's not like an Acadiana team. While they always have a strong defense, they've usually got the real playmakers on offense, but this year maybe flipped a little bit for them.
A 3rd and 1.
That's a nice cut right there for the first down. He was going to be stopped. I think it's Burgess. He's going to be stopped in the backfield for no gain, and he sidesteps a defender right there and finds an open little hole and ends up gaining probably looks like about 3 yards up to the 35-yard line.
5th first down for the Tours. Comes with 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Acadiana on top 36-0.
Bruce, I'll tell you another reason it's an important drive for the Tours. It looks like Acadiana's got a lot of their starting defense still in the field. And so, you know, while they've had trouble moving the ball tonight, but I mean, they're still looking to execute right here.
First down. Trahan to throw. Just throws it up, and Blaylock went one way and Blaine went the other. And then, we're going to get a pass interference.
Acadiana's going to be very upset.
Yeah, because that's a terrible call.
That was a miscommunication. Yeah, it was a miscommunication. He ran an end. He ran about a 5-yard slant, and that pass was about 20 or 25 yard a go pattern, and the side judge called pass interference, but there was never. He's going to call holding.
Yeah, illegal use of hands or whatever. What's the pass interference rule is different. You know, the NFL, if it's not catchable, it's not a penalty. But in high school, I don't think that matters.
So that's going to be a mark off of 10 yards. Yep. But even bigger, it'd be a first down for the Tours at their own 45-yard line late in the third quarter.
2:35 to go. First and 10, Sulphur from their own 45. 3 receivers here to the left, one over to the right. Trahan to throw. Looks to the right. Throws deep.
He's got Blaylock open again. Yeah. Boy, there's a lot of hand fighting over there.
That's close to holding.
That looked more holding. That looked more like a holding penalty than the previous play, which was that you did call a flag on. But they really allowing a lot of.
The pass was over the wrong shoulder, but.
Well, but what the bumping is causing him to do,
it slows him down.
Yeah, it's not letting him run through his route, and we've seen several of these passes just outside the stretched out hands of a Golden Tour receiver, but their route's been very choppy.
So 2nd and 10 from the 45. Trahan throw, slant this time. It's incomplete. Threw that a little bit too far in front of Blaylock, and he's hurt.
Yeah, I think that was Blaylock that was slow getting up on that previous play.
I thought so too, yeah.
And almost looked like he grabbed at his shin.
That's what I thought too.
Either a shin or maybe my dad hates this term, but a high ankle. My dad said, "What?
Oh, really?
What's a high ankle and what's a low ankle's an ankle, you know?"
Well, above the joint or below the joint, I guess.
Yeah, but you got to remember my dad graduated and played in 56.
Oh, so my goodness. That's a year before I was even born. Man.
My dad had the pleasure of playing against Billy Cannon of Astruma.
Well, he hops up. He's okay.
Going back a little bit, Astruma won a state title that year. They were undefeated with a tie, and their tie was to the Sulphur Golden Tours. If David Walker's still listening, that's I know David Walker's a huge Sulphur history buff when it comes to Sulphur football.
Oh, that's back in the day when there were ties, but you still lost on first downs.
Well, back then, there wasn't a winner-loss. It was just a tie. A tie was a tie even back then.
But in the playoffs, first downs
playoffs
advanced you. Trahan to throw. Incomplete. Again, a lot of heavy traffic. That one intended for a new one out there.
And he had 2 receivers in the same vicinity.
4th and 10.
Number 7 is Drake German.
Yeah.
He's listed as a sophomore quarterback. May have had a few number changes. I don't know.
Apparently so.
But Piaz will be on the kick now. Line of scrimmage will be. And Acadiana doesn't send anyone back deep, so they're not convinced that Sulphur is going to kick it, I guess. But the line of scrimmage will be the 45-yard line. Being the 4th and 10, I don't see Sulphur doing anything fancy right here.
No.
Probably Piaz's best kick of the night. It's going to bounce inside the 10. It's going to be down inside the 5.
2.
Oh, they're going to mark it into the end zone.
Really?
I can't see
the line. No.
And Stelly's like, are you kidding me? Stelly run off the field like he downed the ball. There were 2 guys right there with the ball. And both of the defenders that were back there are holding their hands up like, are you kidding me?
Unless his feet were in the end zone or something. But anyway, it's
in high school, though, you can, as long as the ball doesn't cross, your body can be into. That's one of them funny rules. In the NFL, it's different.
Okay.
The ball can cross the line, not the feet, but in high school,
that ends up being a 55-yard punt.
So that's going to put the Rams at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, late here in the third quarter.
2:13 to go. They're going to throw.
Of all things, they're going to drop back to pass.
No, he's going to throw it away. Let's say he wasn't going to throw it from that spot. He's going to have to run.
You know, a little surprising, Bruce, with this kind of score. You know, I don't. Yeah. Is that's a regular quarterback that's been in the game?
That's DeBetta.
Yeah,
the throwing quarterback.
Yeah, but what a little surprising that. Generally, if you're on this side of this type of score, you're looking to run the ball and you don't want to get anyone hurt late in the game. And
well, if that 42-point rule is true, it would be 42-0 if they scored, then the clock would run continuously. So maybe that was the thinking is we can get out of here by 9:15 if we score. They're going to hand it off this time, and here's another big opening.
Inside give again.
40, and he's gone. He was gone at midfield when Sulphur tried to tackle him, and they did not bring him down.
The 80 yards.
80, yeah. That's going to be 28 points in the third quarter.
That's going to be the young man, the Hippolyte young man we talked about pregame. Ezekiel Hippolyte.
Yep.
A junior running back. We were mentioning some of the last names that we've watched, probably some cousins and brothers over the years at Acadiana, and Hippolyte's another one of those names.
Well, now let's see if we got the rule. Because now it's 42 with the extra point coming.
Bruce, this wasn't a rule I was hoping to try out tonight.
To see. I did not think we would see it either. It's been a third quarter of big plays.
Yeah, and you got to credit Acadiana. I mean, Acadiana. I think a couple of things, but I think that made the necessary halftime adjustments. It was only 15-0 at halftime, and the Tours had only given up one offensive score. And we're right here in this ball. Had the ball actually 2 times inside the last 6 minutes of the second quarter with an opportunity to bring it to a one-score game and just weren't able to do anything. But 15-0 coming out of half. And Acadiana takes a second half kickoff, and it's just been all Acadiana since then.
1:57 to go in the third quarter. If that 42-point rule exists, and it exists outside the fourth quarter, we may see the clock start running here. Well, they tried to throw it on first down, which was a little surprising. So instead they ran it 80 yards. And somebody dove at his feet at about the 45-yard line, and he stayed on his feet.
Yeah, someone had, I think it was a safety, had an opportunity. But like I say, when he's got that head up, that momentum going that he had right there, he was going to be tough to bring down from behind.
Richard's kick will go into the end zone. No, take it at the 3.
That's Stelly.
Yep. No, yeah, it's Grayson Stelly. He said Stelly, and then he said correction. It is Stelly to the 16-yard line. First down, Sulphur, and the clock is running. So that is the rule, and it's good at the third quarter, too. And I assume it will continue until the end of the game because Washington Marion did score to make it 42-8. The clock continued to run. So,
yeah, I think Acadiana still got starters here. On most of the starters in on defense. It's pretty clear that they're looking for this shutout tonight.
Sulphur will throw. That is tipped in the air, but incomplete this time.
He faked the handoff, little play action, looking to hit Hopkins on a little post pattern right there. And then the ball's tipped in the air, falls harmlessly between the middle of 3 Acadiana Rams.
So 2nd and 10. Tours will have to run a play here in the third quarter. But the clock is running with 30 seconds to go. Play clock at 15. They will hand it off. Burgess sweeping right. Tripped up after a gain of maybe 2, and that'll be the end of the quarter. So after 3, it is Acadiana 43 and Sulphur nothing. The Tours will play a 3rd down and 8. The clock, I'm sure, will stop as we change field. Yep.
So, Bruce, that was a 28-point quarter?
Yes, it was. One of those on defense.
1 defensive and 3 offensive scores.
Yep, a 65, 67, and 80-yard drive. So over 200 yards just on the scoring drives.
We mentioned that the Tor defense had prevented those big plays through the first 2 quarters of this ball game, and just kind of got away from them there in the third quarter. But I mean, much as I hate to say it, that's what Acadiana does to you.
Yep.
They remind me of a boa constrictor. And every time you take a breath, they squeeze a little bit more and squeeze a little bit more, and then all of a sudden, you can't breathe anymore. You didn't even realize they were squeezing you a little harder every time, and that's what this Veer offense does to you.
It's not a good night for our end of the district. I think it's 35-21 Karen Crow, 21-7 Sam Houston, New Iberia over Sam.
New Iberia over Sam.
Yep. All right, the clock starts.
So the Tours will be set up 3rd and 8 now. We'll call it the 19-yard line.
2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. One will go in motion. It's Babez. He'll set up in the backfield, and they will throw. And they will throw deep. It is almost intercepted by the guy with the green gloves.
Yeah, that's a pass play right there. Tran's either got to go ahead and throw that thing deep.
Yep, a little bit deeper.
Yeah, just a hair deeper. That safety kind of read the play and was able to sit down on it. He actually had Babez. He was giving him enough cushion. He had him open earlier in that route, but wasn't able to get it to him then, and just had to hang on to it a hair longer than he wanted to.
Paez to kick. Nobody back deep for Acadiana.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. Last couple of kicks, Acadiana hasn't sent anyone back deep.
This is end over end.
Mr. Paez is loving this.
Not a great roll for him, though.
Checked up like a golf shot.
Yep.
Hit it about the 43 and only bounces to the 42. Stelly's down there to down the ball once again. One of the things that hurts us, the Tor offense as well, Bruce, is we've been missing Mr. LaFleur, our big tight end target, so far this season as well. Not sure when he's going to be expected back for the Tours, but certainly an important cog of the offense.
The 1st and 10, Acadiana, their own 36-yard line, clock running with 10:10 to go in the game. It will run the rest of the game.
They've made a quarterback change again as well.
Okay. So
back to that running quarterback.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He's going to pitch it.
Looks like a little different. Or that's probably a Hippolyte, huh?
I don't know.
It's a smaller running back.
I'm
not sure if they made a change. I'm not sure if that was Hippolyte.
Aiden Trahan at the back end of the quarterback.
Those guys are quick, Bruce. He looked like he was going to have about a 5-yard loss, and he somehow got that all the way on that pitch play. He got it all the way back up to the line of scrimmage for no gain.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 41.
Credit the Tor defense right there for stringing that out. But like I said, really thought we were going to have him for a loss.
It's amazing to me how the way the clock just runs.
Bruce, we haven't mentioned as well, but if you're an older Golden Tour fan, the Acadiana Rams have built a new press box on the home side. Not as much room as we would like.
No, a lot quieter.
Me and Bruce are nearly shoulder to shoulder, but we do have our own radio booth and limited visibility on one side because it's kind of offset. But Acadiana, that's a new athletic complex that I asked one of the guys earlier. They built a new little athletic complex area as well over here. So they're doing some nice things here at this school.
There's another penalty on Acadiana for being offside, but this time they get another big play. That's the little kid again. At 26, 25? 25. It's Taryn Prejean. They'll make it 3rd down and 2. And none of that really matters. The clock is running continuously now the rest of the game. So based on that, we'll be done at 9:10.
You know, Bruce, one of the things, if you're an Acadiana fan, a lot of these names we're starting to call out for them, and they haven't missed a beat, but they're sophomores and juniors. And this team is really loaded.
It always is.
You know, throughout the class. That's what amazes me is, you know, a lot of times there's not a very heavy senior class here. It's all kind of spread out amongst sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
Praise John again. That's just the 10th first down for Acadiana. But when you're scoring on 80-yard runs, you're not going to pick up very many. And it is first down Acadiana from the Sulphur 46-yard line. With the clock running at 7:25 to go, 43-0. Wreckin Rams on top. Watching the play clock. Of course, again, it doesn't matter. And the quick give up the middle for a couple.
Yeah, somebody got him right at his feet at the line of scrimmage, and so he kind of looked like a little dive more than anything. So he's tackled for about a 2.5-yard gain. Looks like.
One of the things, though, when you're beating people like this in the fourth quarter, you can play these kids, so they get a whole lot of playing time in the season. So when it's their turn to start, they're ready to go. Don't have to teach them. Quarterback will pick up the first down.
Bruce, it looks like they've started running a lot of misdirection or more misdirection, but their running backs, when they're initially hitting a hole, they're cutting it back against the grain. And the Golden Tours, I'm not sure if they're over pursuing or they've just picked up on a little scheme that we aren't executing the way we should be right there. But that was another one of them little cutback runs.
Going to get our water break here.
Once he got past the line of scrimmage. I think they'll let him go ahead and run one more play. Let's see.
Nope.
They're going to stop
right at 6 minutes. Yep.
So they're going to stop it with 6 minutes.
And then they'll start the clock back up again.
But credit the Golden Tours. They haven't stopped playing tonight, but you got, like I said, you got to give some props to the Acadiana Rams tonight as well. As well as the Golden Tours played in the first half. The Acadiana Rams have played that well in the second half, actually better. But 28-point third quarter outburst kind of put this game out of reach.
Oh, it's 29-29.
So Barb's come back and tied up Karen Crow.
Okay. I thought he said it was 35-21.
I haven't heard him mention another Como Lafayette High score.
Oh, he did, but I didn't pick it up.
So 6 minutes to go here in the ball game. Acadiana's going to have first and 10 at the Golden Tour, 34-yard line.
Oh, now they've started the clock again. Very quick handoff.
You'll hand off to the first guy. First one up through the hole. Led by several Golden Tour tacklers. Keegan Trim comes up a little gimpy right there.
Yep.
That's one you hate to see late in a ball game like this.
Oh, yeah. In a 43-0 game.
Starting defensive tackle for you.
And that will stop the clock. The gain of 3 would be gain of 2, 2nd and 8. When we get back to play, do we determine where we'll be next week?
No, let me look. I'm pretty sure though we're at.
I can't. All the stuff I have, I don't have a schedule.
We're at Lafayette High.
I know. I think Southside is here.
We need our statistician, Mitch
Troy
Redrose.
Here. Message from Mitch. He's listening.
Mitch is the guy that kind of keeps us in line with all that type of information. He may be texting as I'm trying to type in Google the schedule.
Give up the middle inside the 30-yard line. Close to the 28. The third down coming up.
Yeah, we're at Lafayette next week, and then Karen Crow comes to Sulphur the following week. So we'll be on the road once again.
A little
next
further
week.
down the road.
Yeah, just a few miles deeper into Cajun country, as they say. Mentioned to Bruce on we were talking Lafayette High is getting a big-time facelift, pretty much a brand-new school from what I understand. And I don't know if it's a complete new football stadium or just redoing their athletic facilities as well in the upcoming couple years. Fumble.
Yep, on 3rd and 5, they fumbled. The quarterback will fall on it for a loss back to the 30. And that'll bring up 4th down and 6. We're just beyond the 30, closer to the 31-yard line. So 4th down and almost 7.
An even lonelier job than being a wide receiver for Acadiana, maybe a punter.
Have we seen one? They faked one.
Oh, that's right. They faked the one.
I think we did see one.
Didn't?
Yeah, I think so. 1 or 2. They've turned the ball over once. Yeah, the punter probably does less than a receiver does. But it's 4th down and a long 6 coming up. And they will throw it toward the end zone where it is caught for the score.
So they ran a little bootleg, and quarterback scrambled to his right and found a wide receiver run the out pattern just inside the 10-yard line. He makes the catch and goes into the end zone for what hopefully will be Karen Crow's last score of the night.
I think at 3:38 and the clock continuing to run, that will probably be it. If it runs beyond the extra point, they may not kick it off. I think this is a new kicker, yep.
That's that big, tall kicker.
Yeah.
They've got a young man kicking the ball. He's about 6'4". We were watching him warm up before the game. Kicks up, and it's no good, off to the left.
So that'll make it 49.
Bruce, he's got a leg on him, though. That ball.
Is it a girl? Nope.
Oh, that's two. That's
Landon. They've had
3 minutes to go in the game. No Wreckin.
Southside has a young lady that plays.
Okay.
It's a brother sister.
Because Acadiana's had female kickers.
Yep. And then I saw this week there's a female, maybe a line person, rather.
Where?
Playing. It's in North Louisiana.
Okay.
Maybe for Bastrop or somewhere up there. And they did a little write-up on her. I saw either on Facebook or Twitter this week, but had a picture of her and in her uniform. But, yeah, I read the other day the young lady at Southside, I think this is her 2nd or 3rd year playing.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. But, yeah, she's got, I think, an older brother. She's maybe a sophomore, junior, and the older brother is a senior, I believe. But I read a little article and a write-up on that combination a few weeks ago. So we'll see Southside later in the season. I think we go to Southside.
Yep, back over here.
I'm not sure. I have to look up where they're playing at this season. They were
normally play at Turlings.
Yeah, they were playing at the.
Someone said they were in St. Martinville last week. Kick will be returned.
It's like Hopkins, or is that DePriest?
20, 25,
it's Hopkins,
30. Not beyond the 35, maybe to the 36 or so. And the clock will continue to run here.
Well, we mentioned Southside. Southside doesn't have a football field for games there yet. Relatively new school, beautiful new school from what I understand. It's got some of the best technology in the state of Louisiana. But while they're fielding a football team, they have not built a stadium yet. So they're kind of bouncing around for their home games.
That's not unusual.
No, we talked about it on the way over here, Bruce, just about the sheer expense to start a football program at a high school.
3 of them in Lake Charles that hop around.
Yeah.
On first down, the Tours will keep it on the ground.
It's a new running back in the game.
Yeah, 45, 50.
Is that maybe a number 13?
What I thought. There's a 3.
Addison Constance is 13, is a backup quarterback.
No, he still said it's William Gunter, so that we've been calling him DeMarcus Williams. But it is a first down for Sulphur. But if they don't break along when here in the next 3 or 4 plays, they're going to get shut out because the clock is not going to stop at 49-0.
It's a good opportunity right here, though, Bruce, to work on their 2-minute offense.
Yeah. The throw is off the hands of Alston, who was wide open in the middle of the field.
Austin runs a post pattern, and there's no safety back. If he catches that ball, he's still running into the end zone right there. Just say he isn't able to bring it in. It's an incomplete pass. Probably one of the better passes Trahan has thrown tonight.
We are hitting the 1-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Could be the last play. Trahan to throw. Here comes the pressure, and down he goes. So unless the receivers hurry up, that should be the game.
Yeah, they all four. That was kind of a jailbreak right there. All four defensive linemen, I think at one point in time, at least got a hand on Trahan as he's scrambling around back there. And they eventually bring him down for a sack. I think Coach Tower said that's enough. We're going to line up and shake hands and go home.
That's it. Well, the final here is Acadiana 49 and Sulphur nothing.
So Bruce Merchant, Don Martin with Tornado Radio Network. We're going to sign off tonight. Tough night for the Golden Tours, but Coach Tower will head back to the practice field and look to regroup. And we'll be back on there next week on the road with the Lafayette Lions. So we appreciate you tuning in to Tornado Radio Network. And until next Friday, have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday. Thank you.